What's happening, everyone? Hope you're having a good day. Today's video, we will be focusing on something that I was wrong on, and I'm never afraid to admit when I'm wrong. But I want to tell you before we talk about that, what my actual process is when I get information. I have never and will never be the YouTube channel that creates information. There are some channels out there that will give you news that's fake news. It's not real. Any kind of information I get for any of these tundras or automotive in general, anything, I validate, I research the best I can before I give you the information. I want to give you the information immediately when it comes out because usually I'm pretty pumped and surprised, and I want you guys to feel that same way too. That's what this channel is, all right? So once again, I always try to validate everything. I never just say stuff. I have a couple sources here and there, and they've been very spot on since day one. I'm going to give you a quick for instance. One of my sources told me there wouldn't be a TRD Pro Tundra for the 2018 model year. So I went ahead and reported that, and I had automotive journalists from around the country contacting me, telling me that that's fake news, you shouldn't be reporting that, that's not real. Of course there'll be a 2018 Tundra TRD Pro. Well, guess what? There was not a 2018 Tundra TRD Pro. So I value my sources, they're good people. So now we're on to what the topic of the video is today, where I was wrong about something. Never, ever, ever will I be afraid to admit when I'm wrong. I'm a fan, I'm an enthusiast like you. I don't work for Toyota. I'm not an automotive journalist. I don't have hardcore, insiders. I got a couple sources here and there, but nothing crazy. So it's about the 2019 TRD Pro. I was reporting since the truck was launched at the Chicago Auto Show that it would be coming out with blind spot monitoring, parking sensors, rear cross traffic alert, all of that. Well, all of these 2019 TRD Pros that are hitting the lot or, customers are buying don't have blind spot monitoring or the rear cross traffic alert or parking sensors, and it also doesn't have the JBL sound system. Now, my mind is blown by this, and I'm going to show you a video real quick on why I was saying what I was saying, so check this out. Okay, this picture here is from the launch of the 2019 TRD Pro earlier this year. If you look down on the bumper end caps, right next to the rigid industry fog lights, you will see the little black dots that are the parking sensors. See, I'm not crazy. Now, the thing is this is a pre-production model at an auto show, so you gotta kind of take it for granted a little bit here and there, but I also have another picture to show you right now, and that picture is of the TRD Pro Tundra in action with some of the journalists that took it out. And they always have like a press day and things like that, and they took the TRD Pros out into the woods and, onto some dirt trails, mountains, all that stuff, and as you could see, the parking sensors are still there. Picture number 3, this is one of the very first Voodoo Blue TRD Pro Tundras to be built. And once again, down on the bumper end caps, we are seeing the parking sensors. So there you go. It's not just the pre-production. We're actually seeing one that is a production model. So I'm really confused now. Now, there was a lot of rumors going around that the TRD Pro had the JBL sound system, but we're starting to realize that it does not, and I kind of scratched my head at that. This picture right here that I'm showing you is actually sent by a viewer. I appreciate it. And as you could see on the third highlighted point down the list, Entune Premium JBL Audio with integrated navigation and Entune App Suite. But it doesn't have the JBL sound system, even though right here it says it does. Okay, so you see what I mean there? These trucks are coming out early on. Now, I never trust anything from an auto show because usually with the auto show, they're obviously pre-production. They're just putting something out that looks good. But when I see a truck come out, truck or car, I always try to look for certain things. And, I've had a lot of Tundras, so I know what to look for on the Tundra. Especially with the TRD Pro that I own, there were things, like we know, there are things that I didn't like about it because it didn't have a lot of options. Blind spot monitoring, parking sensors, stuff like that. So as soon as I saw the 2019 TRD Pro, first thing I looked at was the front bumper to see the two little black circles, which means the parking sensors and blind spot monitoring and all that. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, all right. But I was like, Chicago Auto Show, I don't know why they would put it on there and it not be in production, but maybe not, I'll wait. So then the second picture, when I showed you guys that blue Tundra, which was the Voodoo Blue, one of the first ones that would be coming out of the factory, on the bumper, it had the parking sensors and all that. So I was like, all right, totally cool. And then the other picture I showed you with the JBL sound system being listed on the TRD Pro as an option, or I think it was standard equipment. Not there. So I'm very confused on all this, but I guess I was wrong. So it looks like the JBL sound system does not come in the 2019 TRD Pro, and it looks like we're not getting parking sensors or blind spot monitoring either. So that brings it to the next question. Would you guys pay this kind of money for a truck without those amenities? My issue, and you guys know I love the TRD Pro Tundra. I miss my TRD Pro Tundra sometimes just because I loved owning it, but I now have this Platinum, and I have the parking sensors and the blind spot monitoring and the JBL sound system. I paid, the sticker on this was 52 or 53, I think, and I got all the amenities. Would you pay an MSRP of between $51,000 and $53,000, and there might be a dealer markup? Would you pay that kind of money for a truck that doesn't have those basic amenities? I don't think I could live without blind spot monitoring anymore. It is just an amazing thing to have. Now, as you just saw me change lanes before, I always do the same thing when I change lanes. No matter what blind spot monitoring says to me, I always look in the mirror and then look just to make sure nobody's there. But it's a great aid to have. I just did it again, there you go. It's a great aid to have. You can't have too much safety, all right? Especially in today's world with everybody on their phone, and you know, like this guy in front of me who's almost wrecked his bike, and people this day, oh my goodness. Anyway, sorry, people sometimes kill me. In New Jersey, every time you drive, it's almost like you're potentially getting in an accident every single day. It's crazy out here. But anyway, you know, safety helps, and blind spot monitoring is great because if you're trying to make a quick lane change and you look over and you see the light illuminated, you know there's a car next to you. This is a big truck. It doesn't have a lot of blind spots, but it does have some. So it's good to have a little bit of extra safety like that. So I don't know if I could go backwards in that. The JBL sound system isn't the greatest sound system in the world. I don't know if I could go back to a sound system that has even less speakers and isn't as good. You know, things like that. I'm in the top trim Tundra right now, and I paid good money for it for all the features that are offered on the Tundra. Could I get away from that just to say I have a TRD Pro? That is the conundrum. So it brings up the point again, are you the type of person that wants these amenities, and you'd actually end up paying less money? You'd pay less money for a Platinum or 1794 with all of the features. Isn't that crazy? Because you could work a deal out on that truck. You can't work a deal on the TRD Pro. You're not going to get it any lower than MSRP, and if you do, it'll be a smidge. I'm sure I'll have a couple people in the comments below that told me they bought their TRD Pro for $1, but good job. But you know, that's what I'm saying. So I was wrong on the information. So anytime I'm ever wrong, I want to tell you guys, my bad. I'm sorry I reported something that turned out to not be real. I'm very confused why Toyota would say it has this and then it comes out without the certain thing, like the JBL sound system. It just added to the confusion of everything. People were commenting to me, you know, like, I thought I had JBL sound system. There's no JBL in this. And then I started to think like, well, maybe it's like an upgrade option, but it's not. So the confusion continues. I'm sorry I was wrong. Once again, I will always validate and work hard at getting you the proper information, but every once in a while, we're gonna get something like this where I stumble and fall. But as you can see, it's kind of justified with how confusing all that information was and with the pictures and everything. So I hope you can forgive me. I hope you still love me. But comment below the video, tell me what you think. Twitter and Instagram at tundra34, tundra34 at gmail.com. You guys have a great day.